Every student that comes through the door is one of the very first conversations I almost always have is you have to remember that you aren't coming in here as a student. In fact, don't even use that word. You're coming in here as a professional. That means dress the part, act the part, and learn the part. Take it seriously. This isn't a hobby. This is your future and current career, meaning you are a professional. You might be taking classes, but you're here to not only learn, but you're also here to develop and become that person that you want to be. I have been working on various feature films over the years, as well as episodic television shows, both as a digital compositor, as well as compositing supervisor and effects supervisor. More recently, I've spent time on Bridgerton, Snowfall, for example, going back a little bit, also working on several different Star Wars titles, quite a few Marvel feature films and episodics. Go back in the day, some of my original early favorites would be The Incredible Hulk, as well as Golden Compass. Within the compositing program, we have had a plethora of students over the years go through this. The exciting part that comes out of that is helping to teach students what it is that we've been doing in the industry, imparting upon them that knowledge, and then seeing them elevated to the next level. It's such an exciting opportunity. One of the cool things about digital compositing is you're always doing something new. You're always learning something, a new tool, a new technique, a new solution for what is needed. And the requirement for that comes back to referencing past experience, but also being able to adjust and amalgamate based upon what the current expectation is. So having that mindset always equates back to a level of work ethic. That work ethic, if you're willing to put in the time, you're going to see results. It might not happen today, it might not be tomorrow, but at some point you're going to see the outcome that you have come here to experience. So the goal of the compositing program at CG Spectrum is to ensure that students are prepared for the industry best expectations. We don't just teach the core principles, we don't just teach the technical knowledge, we also want to prepare them for what is not necessarily entry-level work, but mid-level compositing work. Is not what you would typically expect from a student graduating from a traditional school. It is actually a step above where they are now noticed. So when we're applying to the job, they have the ability to potentially get their name at the top of the stack for a potential job opportunity. Specifically for compositing, what we do is we take the live action, we take the computer-generated imagery, and we blend them together photorealistically. So the goal is when you go to watch that movie, you're seeing things that were shot in camera, that were also created on the computer digitally, and we're blending those together so that that final image looks like it actually happened. So when you're watching that Star Wars movie and you're seeing that planet exploding, you feel like you're a part of this. You're in a spaceship flying over this planet that is literally exploding. Or conversely, we're in New York City and the Marvel Avengers are battling the bad guys and these buildings are getting destroyed. The compositor's role is to take that computer-generated elements, the live action actors that are doing their moves on, let's say, a green screen, and then the stuff that's actually shot on the streets of New York City, and we're putting all that together, all the exploding effects, so the building debris, the different pieces, these are all layers that we are compositing together to give you the final photoreal finish. One of the things that I really think distinguishes CG Spectrum from a lot of schools is the community. Our community is a supportive, inclusive community that allows everybody to not only learn, but also gain access to quite a few industry contacts. Our student body is global. Our mentor body, our instructor body is also global. These are people who aren't just teaching, they are working professionally in studios during their day jobs, so to speak, and then teaching when they're not working in the studio. That means the students that come into these classes, which are remote and open up the opportunity that you don't have to relocate. You are here for an education, but you are getting access to these people who are working. Being able to get that level of access is in some ways very unprecedented. The opportunity that comes out of it is to be able to not only learn the skills, but you have the ability to have future employment opportunities, not through just our school contacts, but even sometimes through the very people who are teaching you and training you to become a compositor or an animator or whatever category you have come in to become. I've had quite a few different students come through the program over the years, but one specifically does jump out. And when the student joined us, we started out, we were trying to teach them how to build within a node-based environment instead of a layer-based experience. And that technical aspect really just took to them. It was absolutely incredible because after we got through some of those basics and developed that technical proficiency, they were able to really focus on what we call the eye. They were able to spend time focused and developing that visual expertise that is required as a digital compositor. The more that they practiced, the more they developed. And a large portion of that is due to feedback. Feedback is an incredibly important aspect of all areas in the digital arts and entertainment industry, but especially for compositing. Offering feedback is literally me just giving that critique, telling them what's working, but more importantly, what isn't working. Them being able to take that and build their eye. And eventually their portfolio grew and multiplied and became what I would consider to be one of the best digital artist portfolios that I'd ever seen come out of our program. And at the end of that, within just a few short months, they actually had a job within one of the major industry studios globally and have since worked on some absolutely incredible feature films and episodics. I've always kind of come to the approach of teaching and education as a whole as a realization that, everybody's got a journey that they've gone through. And I look back to my past and I say, what are the things that I wish I'd had as I was progressing, as I was learning to become a digital compositor, a senior compositor. If I had one piece of advice that I would give to an aspiring artist, when you start, while you're not necessarily sure of what it is you might want to become, do be certain that you put your all into it. The only way you're going to have the answer to what it is you want to become is if you dedicate and focus a significant amount of energy into it. This is not one of those things where I'm going to spend 2 or 3 hours a day and I'm going to become a professional artist in 6 months. It's a lifetime journey. If you're not sure about it, that's totally okay. As time progresses, you're going to figure it out. New jobs, new opportunities, contacts both within your education and also inside your professional journey. Every experience will give you more reassurance that the choices you made at the beginning are exactly where you should have been to get you where you're going in your future.